A four-line computer program won the most famous experiment in game theory twice, and it never beat a single opponent it played against. Not once. Not in 15 matches. Not in 63. It literally cannot. And the reason it won anyway is the thing almost every business owner gets backwards about competition. In 1980, a political scientist named Robert Axelrod asked economists, mathematicians, and psychologists to send him computer programs for a tournament. Every program plays every other program 200 times in a row at one simple game. Cooperate, and you both get 3 points. Betray a cooperator, and you get 5 while they get nothing. Betray each other, and you both get 1. That game is every business relationship you have. Your supplier, your co-founder, your best client, the one contractor who's always slightly late. Every single round, you can squeeze or you can build. Everyone who's heard of this experiment thinks they know the ending. The nice program won, so nice guys finish first. Cooperation is the secret weapon. The nice program did win, twice. It also never beat a single opponent it played, not one match out of hundreds, and it never could have. The rule that makes it win the tournament makes it mathematically incapable of winning a fight. 4 lines of code, 504 points, first place in a field of 14, and then a field of 62. And researchers reran the whole thing across 25,000 repetitions in 2026 and got the same winner. So here's what's coming. Exactly why it wins. The 4 settings that make it work. The one thing that breaks it in the real world. And the 2 situations where this advice will actively cost you money. The winning entry came from a psychologist named Anatol Rappaport. And the whole program is this. Cooperate on the first move. After that, copy whatever the other player just did. That's it. It went up against submissions running 70-plus lines of probing logic from professional game theorists, and it scored 504 points per match. Second place scored 500. The field averaged about 401. Now, here's the part that matters. Tit for tat never defects first. Ever. Which means the absolute best it can do against any single opponent is a tie. Its win record across every match in both tournaments is 0. It didn't take points off anybody. It just refused to shrink the pot. Every match it played got bigger, and it walked away holding half of a much larger number. You've done this backwards. You got the supplier down another 4%. You hung up, and you felt like you won. Then the next 3 orders were slower. The flexibility disappeared. The guy who used to answer his phone at 9 p.m. stopped answering at all. You won the round and lost the account. So, stop measuring your business by whether you got the better end of the last conversation. Measure the total value coming out of your 10 longest relationships. That's the real scoreboard. So, that's the story everyone tells. Here's the part nobody tells you. The exact same program, unchanged, comes nowhere near first place the second you change who's in the room. And that's where this stops being a fun computer story and starts being about your business. Axelrod pulled 4 qualities out of the winner. It's never the first to defect. It hits back immediately. It stops hitting back the moment you stop. And it's completely readable. Nice, provocable, forgiving, clear. Drop any one of those 4 and the whole thing collapses. Watch what happens when you turn just one dial. John Maynard Smith, a world-class evolutionary biologist, submitted a more forgiving version called Tit for 2 Tats. It only retaliates after 2 betrayals. Axelrod ran the numbers and found it would have won a replay of the first tournament. In the second tournament, same logic, same code, it finished 24th out of 63, because the second field had programs specifically written to probe for a pushover. The strategy didn't get worse. The room changed. And the setting everybody underrates is clear. Being unpredictable to seem strategic just stops the other side from ever learning it's safe to work with you. Tactically, what this means is your vendors, your staff, and your partners should be able to predict exactly what you'll do when they miss a deadline, and exactly what you'll do when they fix it. Quick one, which of these have you actually lived through? Comment 1, if you've been the one who squeezed too hard, and 2, if you were on the receiving end of a partner who checked out the second he could see the exit. Every comment gets read, and it decides what gets made next. Back to the tournament. Now, everything so far assumes something that is never true in real life, that both sides can actually see what the other one did. Take that one assumption away, and the winning strategy destroys itself. Put two tit-for-tat players together and let a single move get misread as a betrayal. They lock into an endless, you hit me, I hit you alternation. Under Axelrod's numbers, each one drops to 2.5 points a round instead of 3. That's about 83% of what they were earning, forever, off one accident. A partner sends you a 2-word reply. You read it as disrespect, so you take a day to respond to his next message, just to make a point. He notices. 6 months later, neither of you can remember what started it, but you're copying each other's lawyers on scheduling emails. The research is clear on this. Wu and Axelrod stress-tested error rates from 0.1% up to 10%, and found that strategies with built-in error correction beat exact retaliation as noise rises. Nowak and Sigmund evolved thousands of variants and watched tit for tat get replaced by generous tit for tat, which forgives an apparent betrayal about a third of the time. Their follow-up found something even simpler: beat it outright. Win stay, lose shift. If it's working, keep doing it. If it isn't, switch. So, forgiveness here isn't softness. It's error correction on a channel you already know is unreliable. Rule of thumb: a curt reply, a late invoice, a missed call gets one free pass. Deliberate, repeated behavior gets an immediate response. Which brings us to the clock. Dal Bo ran 276 subjects and found that when the game had a 75% chance of continuing each round, experienced players cooperated on the very first move about 4 times as often as in one-shot games. Then he and Frechette reviewed 2,415 subjects and 157,170 recorded decisions. In games with a known final round, cooperation at the end always drops close to 0. Randomly ending games show no such collapse. There's a name for this: backward induction, and it has $1 billion attached to it. Johnson & Johnson bought Auris Health in 2019 with payouts tied to product milestones, then integrated the company and deprioritized the product. Delaware Chancery awarded over $1 billion in 2024. The Delaware Supreme Court reversed part of it in January 2026 and upheld the breach on the rest. Or Airborne and Squid Soap. $1 million at closing, up to $26.5 million in earnout, none of it ever paid. Think about how you treated the vendor you'd already decided to replace. The client you knew was a one-off. Not your finest work, was it? That wasn't your character slipping. That was you doing exactly what the math predicts anyone does when they can see the last round coming. So, 2 moves, kill visible finish lines, renewals instead of end dates, stage payments, and escrow, instead of trusting character to carry the last month, and treat who's allowed at the table as the strategic decision. Rand and his colleagues ran 785 subjects, and found cooperation only survived when players could drop bad partners and rewire who they dealt with. Fixed networks decayed. You can renegotiate a deal. You cannot renegotiate a counterparty. Before you go apply any of this, there are 2 situations where every word of it is wrong. And they're the 2 situations where the most money is on the table. Genuinely fixed pie, one-shot events, auctions, litigation, a liquidation. There is no next round to protect, and rank really is the payoff. Don't bring tournament logic to a knife fight. Let's recap. Tit for tat never beat anyone. It just refused to shrink the pot. 4 settings make that work. Never strike first, hit back immediately, forgive fast, stay completely predictable. 2 things break it: a channel where signals get misread, and a finish line both sides can see. So build in 1 free pass and replace end dates with renewals. Being the nice guy doesn't make you a sucker. Being the nice guy with no ability to retaliate, no memory, and no filter on who you sit down with, that's what makes you a sucker.